You are now listening to the Training Club Podcast, the show for personal trainers who want to build a lasting career in the fitness industry. For more, go to beginwithin.fit/club. Hey, welcome back to the show. Here's a hard truth. If your clients aren't getting more value than what they're paying, they won't stick around. That's right. You will not be able to retain them. And of course, lasting in this industry, that's what it's all about. It's about retaining clients, it's about keeping them around. But here's the thing, adding value to your clients, it isn't about fancy equipment or even complicated programming. It's about a few things that most trainers completely overlook. And we're going to dive into exactly what those things are in my conversation with my co-host, Becca Kandler, today. But before we dive in, I want to mention one thing that has been absolutely huge in my own personal business, Begin Within Fitness. And this is the custom branded app that I use for all of my clients. Honestly, it's a lifesaver. And they do this all for you. Trainerize is awesome. The app delivers workouts. It helps my clients build healthy habits outside of their time with me, which is my absolute favorite piece of it. But it also handles communication and even billing if that's something that you need. I worked for a big company before I started doing this on my own. And honestly, looking back, even though we had apps and we had systems that did this for me, this is something I would absolutely bring it into the business that I had been part of if I didn't start my own business and start using Trainerize myself. If you want to check it out, hit up my affiliate link to see how Trainerize can help you to level up your personal training business, whether you are a business leader, a trainer working for a big business, or a solopreneur just like me. Go to the link that is in the show notes, or it's beginwithin.fit/trainerize, and you can get started with a 30-day free trial, which includes unlimited clients. No credit card required to get it started. It's beginwithin.fit/trainerize. Check it out. Now, let's get into my conversation with Becca Kandler about adding value to your clients so that they stick around and you can have a lasting career as a personal trainer. Today, we're talking about how to add value to every single session that you deliver. And I am here with a personal trainer who is self-conscious to work out at a new gym. It's Becca Kandler.
Well, hi. And I'm here with Nate Slegger, who is the man who's maybe never broken a bone. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I don't think I've ever broken a bone. I never had a diagnosis of a broken bone, no x-rays. There was this one questionable time that I ordered new rollerblades. My mom ordered them through a catalog for me. The day that they arrived in the mail, I stubbed my toe on the bookcase in the hallway, and my little baby pinky toe was like sticking out the side, and there was no way that I could use those new rollerblades. So I remember just like holding them and thinking about how cool they looked. But officially, no diagnosis of a broken bone, and other than that, that's the only thing even close. So tell me about you being self-conscious to work out at a new gym.
Yeah, so every time, like, I like to try new gyms, right? Whether it's a new type of workout or I've moved a fair number of times and travel a lot.
Mhm.
I have a lot of experience working out, you would say.
Yeah.
Every time I go into a new gym, I feel like all eyes are on me. Like I walk in and it's almost like I can feel like energy that goes with that too. And it feels like everybody's looking at me and watching me and knows that I'm new and watching what I'm doing for good or for bad.
Yeah,
But
I think they probably should be watching what you're doing because you do know what you're doing.
sure, but they don't know that. They just see like, oh, in my head, like, oh, there's this new girl. What is she gonna do? Is she
What?
gonna try to lift heavy weights and make a fool out of herself? Or what is she doing in the weight room? There's some of that as a female. I'm walking into a weight room, and if it's full of men, there's a little bit of that.
I
Like,
think you just own it. I know you own it though. Do you feel like that feeling, does it affect your workout, or is it just as high quality, just as good of a workout as at your regular gym?
that's a great question. Not anymore. I think it would have affected my workout 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Today, no.
Got it.
But
So like exercise selection, same thing you would normally do. Don't feel any extra like tightness or anything. You're just like ready to go.
yeah,
Hmm. Nice, nice.
no.
But I would think that gives you some insight into how members and clients might be feeling coming in.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think, it creates a level of relatedness that I even bring up sometimes, especially if somebody is showing a high level of anxiety and uncertainty and it expresses that.
Hmm.
Uh, I'll share a little bit about, like, I definitely understand, like, as somebody who knows what she's doing, like, I've had a similar feeling, not the same degree, but similar.
Hmm. Yeah.
You're totally valid, validating the feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And I work out at home now. So
Mm,
hmm, I do work out on Zoom with clients from time to time. So,
yeah.
but I don't feel like they're watching me. They're too busy.
They're too busy doing their thing,
They're too busy.
which is very similar to in the gym, right? We have that feeling
Yeah.
that people are watching us, and some might be, but for the most part, everybody else is just focused on their workout and getting through.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard one time, and I think it's super true that nobody who is, how do I want to phrase it? Nobody who's better than you is going to look down on you.
Ooh, I like that.
And it sounds a little counterintuitive, but I think it's very, very true, right?
No,
Like only someone who's insecure or unsure of themselves is going to try to like look at someone else and say they're not doing something right or whatever, right? So, I don't know.
for sure.
Okay, let's dive in. Let's talk about how to add value to a session. We've got personal trainers that are listening, and this is something that you and I have we have worked on for, should I even say decades, collectively for sure, right?
Collectively, for sure. Yeah.
So this comes from, there's a Jim Rohn quote that, and I might get this totally wrong. I'll have to look it up after we're done. But you don't get paid for the hour; you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. Something along those lines. Have you heard that before?
I have, yeah, from you, actually.
Okay, all right. Um, I think that it's super true, especially when we start looking at the work that we do as trainers, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the question is, what things can we do to make sure that we're bringing value into the hour, into the session, no matter how long it is? Um, what, like off the top of your head, Becca, what comes to mind?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind, honestly, is being present, like being there, right? I think we live in a world of distractions and that are always pulling us elsewhere, but like being present. So having the session, being ready for the session, not like being ready for the session and having your full engagement when it starts.
Got it. How how do you indicate that? Like what are how do I show that I'm engaged?
There's a few different things. Like it can begin with just being ready for the session with equipment, right? Being prepared, knowing that somebody is showing up, but it's eye contact with your client or clients, conversations with them, checking in, like, how are you doing today? Um, it can be chit chat if you're waiting for a group to show up, or it can be like, how did you feel from last session? Right? Did you have any soreness, any new aches or pains? Um, but being engaging and sociable.
Present with them.
Yeah.
Nice. Um, I feel like I'm just drilling you right now.
Do it.
What? Okay. What are some things that you've seen, or maybe you haven't seen, maybe you could imagine that would show the opposite, that would show that someone is not present and
Mhm.
not maybe bringing value right off the bat.
Yeah, it's nobody likes to hear it, but having being on your phone, right? You know that a session, it's, a couple minutes away from training session starting, and you're literally just like in your phone, sitting, not paying attention to people who are right in front of you. I think there's a time and a place. I think we've all been there where we're like, oh, I got to get back to a client who's trying to reschedule or whatever it might be. But everybody can wait. And there's a way to still engage with somebody who's in front of you and be like, hey, great, like we'll get started in a second. I just need to respond to a couple of clients here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I've been witness to it's like just oblivious, whether phone, computer, iPad, like into like technology. And I don't know if it's always, it might be something completely different. It might not even be. I like to think they're engaging with other clients and rescheduling.
Given the benefit of the doubt. Good. All right. Excellent. It reminds me of there was a trainer I worked with, and she was like notorious for being full on engaged. Notorious is probably the wrong word because that sounds negative, but she was like known for like bringing energy, being ready, like rising to the occasion for every session, including, of course, early morning stuff when it's still dark out and we're at the
Mhm.
gym early to try to get people going who are like just basically rolling out of bed and getting to the gym themselves. So I remember asking her, I'm like, what do you how are you doing this? Like, what are you doing to get here, to get that perky, that pumped up in order to bring it for these clients? And she told me that when she opened the front door of the gym, that she mentally had a switch that she trained herself. No matter what problems I'm having, no matter what's going on in my life, when I hear that door click, when it opens,
That's
it is
awesome.
my switch to leave it all behind and come in and focus on my clients.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I thought I have she probably even forgets that she told me that, but I never forgot that. And I was like, it changed me every time I clicked the door to open it. I was
Yeah,
like, all right, let's go time. Like let's bring it for the
yeah,
sake of other people.
yeah. I love that. And that makes me think of another, like it transitions straight into another thing that brings value. And that's like making sure that you're making the session about them and not about you.
Tell me more.
Right? Most people are paying for these sessions, right? This is their time. This is their time to learn something. This is
Mm-hmm.
their time to improve their health and fitness. This is their time to de-stress from life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not take on your stress, potentially. Or even the workout part like the other partners of the group. Like be here and now.
Nice.
Uh, so that is a safe place to just kind of be
Yeah.
and improve.
Yeah. I think along those lines, I have, and I'm a talker. Like
Mhm.
words mean a lot to me. And so I have listened carefully to what trainers say during sessions, and I've tried to listen carefully to what I'm saying. And, certainly fallen into some habits. I don't think they're necessarily bad, but certain words that I use, certain ways that I found to address clients that I feel like are sometimes overlooked. They're little ways to bring a lot of value. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, for example, everybody's favorite word is their name.
for sure.
So, like, how often am I using a client's name in a session? I'm using it as often as I can. I mean, it's not like in an annoying way, like, oh my goodness, would you stop saying my name over and over again? But Just like, hey, Susie, great work, awesome, Susie. After that, I'm gonna have you go over here. Susie, you're doing so great. How you feeling? Just really making it about her
Yeah.
during the session.
Yeah. People, we love hearing our names. Um, and on a similar vein, when we're in small groups, somebody like Susie, let's say Susie really knows this exercise, like let her teach
Hmm,
the person next to her how to
nice.
do it.
That's a great idea. I like that. So you're using a client to help another client, which obviously as a coach or trainer, that takes some pressure off of you. But it's not just to help you out, it's actually to help the client who would be teaching to
Yeah.
feel even better about their progress and where they're at,
Yeah.
and adds value to both clients,
To both.
and then develops a closer bond, more a sense of community.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come back for
You
that
see
person.
it going. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. That
And
is great.
potentially helps them feel like our ultimate goal is to help people want to work out on their own too, right? So, um, that can build their confidence in one another to
Right.
show up on Saturday.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
like we're gonna help each other.
Nice. I love it. That's great. So we're prepared, we're present,
Hmm.
we are looking for ways to add value even during the workout, by the words we use, by the way we encourage clients to interact with one another. Okay. How about as this session is wrapping up, or anything else that comes to mind for you, Becca? What other what other points can we keep in
Yeah.
mind to add value?
Well, before we get to like wrapping up, I think it's important to talk about like how we have to make it fun.
Yeah.
Our job. Um, I've always not always joked, but probably the last several years I've joked that when I'm training, I'm like, I'm part entertainer. So whether it's having jokes or usually it's making fun of myself in some way, shape, or form. But we're like a part entertainer to whether it's a taking away a distraction from the challenge that we're physically facing,
Hmm.
right? A mental distraction, or in between when we're transitioning, right? To just be having a good time.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I this is just me personally. I think that's the biggest thing that we bring, is to make sure that it is fun.
Yeah,
Um, I think just understanding the way the brain works, the way habits get wired. If somebody doesn't feel good while they're doing something, or at least immediately after, they're not going to come back and do it again, right? They're, at least they're not going to be inclined to do it again. And sometimes as trainers, we're like, oh, they're going to feel good because fitness feels good, results feel good, being muscular and strong feels good, that's why they're going to come back. But that's not the way the brain works, right? It's like, if I don't give my dog the treat right after he sits, he's not going to do it again.
right.
We have to wire this in. And I don't, probably shouldn't compare people to dogs, right? That's probably not a good idea, but I guess I'm just talking our little dog brains, right? We
Yeah,
need, we need the reward immediately. And if someone just comes to the gym, works out, and it's challenging and it's inconvenient, and then they have to leave and go back to regular life immediately, where now I'm behind on things, I have missed calls while I was at the gym, I have to get back to work or whatever, I think it's an uphill battle that's steeper than it needs to be. And as a trainer, I think if you're adding fun, if you're at least making sure they feel good at the end, because of the social connection, the emotional connection,
yep.
then the uphill battle isn't, it's not as steep of a climb for them. Your thoughts?
I completely agree. Right. Yeah, it has to be. We have to wire it as something that we want to do, a place where we feel like we belong,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? In order to want to come back. We also need the other parts. We also need the results. We also need to see the
Right.
progress.
Yes.
Um, but the real value is in I enjoy being here and doing this, and I want to come back.
Yeah. Nice. If we're getting like super hmm, nitty gritty, like what are some things that we can do to make that last perception or make the perception of the workout in general as something that was enjoyable, that was fun?
So,
What
like
thoughts do you
wrapping it
have?
up, you mean, like at the end of a
I
session?
guess wrapping up at the end or throughout, like how what are specific things that I can do to make sure that this was fun for them?
Mhm.
Uh, I know we talked about a few ways to bring value, but fun
Yeah.
specifically.
Um, some of the same ways, but like showing that you're having a good time, that you want to be there, right? And you're smiling because it's contagious,
Smile. There you go. I like that. Yeah.
right? That's contagious. And if it's a small group, which is a lot of what is happening now, like encouraging them to engage with each other,
Nice. Good.
right?
Yeah.
Building that. You know that you know them, they don't know each other, but you more than likely know them in advance.
Yeah.
Or getting to know them, and as you get to know them, be like, oh, Susie, yeah, Julie also has a dog.
Excellent. Yeah. Talking about pets.
Talking about pets, talking
Fun.
about
We love it.
easy stuff in life, like the
Yeah.
the
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think smile is huge. I mean, I do sessions on Zoom and that moment when you're signing off Zoom where it almost freezes the person
yeah,
at the very end of the meeting. I mean, we did this during the pandemic, right? We under
yeah,
like when you're signing and you can always get these weird faces or you get the person's like already moving on to the next thing, like boop off. And you get caught like moving away. One
yeah.
thing I try to do is I will like freeze frame the smile at the end of
Oh,
just
yeah,
end
that's smart.
meeting.
Yeah,
Smile. The last thing I want them to see is me smiling right at them at the end of the session. I think that's huge
yeah,
for us as trainers. The presence you mentioned
yeah,
at the beginning needs to carry through to the end. So it's not like, oh, great job, see you later, but we're out of there. It's
yeah,
like I'm standing there and smiling and you know saying goodbye.
yeah.
Great job, you did awesome. High five, right? Some physical, if it's appropriate, contact. Definitely big. Um, yeah.
And like expectations afterwards, right?
Mm,
If you know that we worked legs really hard today, Nate, you're gonna be sore tomorrow. You're already, you're wobbling on your way out. So how can we
yes.
proactively, like, make sure you're drinking extra water, go for a walk, like you're going to be sore, preparing for that. So it kind of softens it.
Hmm.
Depending on how long they've been working out, they might not have any idea that tomorrow is going to be rough.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Good.
prepare
I've heard you
for
talk
that.
about that before. I think that's
Yeah,
important. Yeah.
yeah, yep. That and knowing like what happens when are we going to see you again? What happens next? Right? Are we scheduled? Do we have a check-in? Do we
Yeah. Nice.
like, I know that you're coming back Thursday.
What day are you coming back? Yeah. Good. Sweet. Anchor it into the next session.
And I'm
Nice.
excited to have you back. We just did legs. I'm excited for your triceps.
Nice. The legs and the triceps, the split. That's huge. Just teasing you.
I
Good.
know.
I'm curious as we are wrapping up this conversation, what for you, if you were gonna give a trainer who's listening or a a leader of a fitness company who might be listening, something to make sure gets implemented as part of this concept of bringing value to the session. what might be the most important thing, and just from your perspective, like what might be the most important thing to kind of say, all right, this week I'm going to focus on this one aspect to make sure I'm bringing value. What would it be for you?
This this is really simple, but underutilized. So I think it would be like encouraging all staff with the smile. Like you have to smile because that's going to transfer and trickle down to everything else that we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very easy to forget, but it's very easy to do.
Absolutely. Nice. I love it. Smile.
You can't smile and have a bad time.
Right. Benefit yourself. A selfish smile.
Kind of, I guess.
Well, while you're benefiting, you're helping someone else, right? It's, yeah, basic body language. Very valuable. So the most valuable thing.
I think so because it's going to trickle down to everything else, right?
Yeah.
It is a an instigator
Nice. I love it. Good.
with bigger
Good.
impact.
Yeah. And
We've
maybe
talked about
that's,
that before. What's the small things, right?
yeah,
Things for big impact. Smile.
huge.
We can talk
Yes.
about for sales too and phone calls. And
Yes. Smile before you dial. Awesome. Good. And maybe the smile is when you're opening that door in the morning and walking into your facility, stepping into a session, check the smile, the most important part of your uniform.
absolutely.
Awesome. Cool. High five, Becca. Nice work.
I'm really good at high fives. I don't know if you know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
I
loud.
think you taught me to like aim, look at their elbow or something. Isn't that? Yeah.